Hello, welcome back to Press Review. Let's start by taking a look at today's front pages in the Middle East. Starting from Israel, the Jerusalem Post leads reporting that Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas might agree to continue negotiations after the April 29 deadline if Israel goes through with the fourth prisoner release at the end of the month. The paper also reports that Defense Minister Ehud Barak has said that Israel's enemies will gain access in the coming years to precision-guided missiles that will allow them to target individual buildings. Turkey's Hurriyet Daily reports that Turkey's parliamentary speaker has said that Turkey is in desperate need of some semblance of normalization following the March 30th local election amid widespread social turbulence. The paper also reports that the Turkish court in Ankara ordered access to be restored to Twitter yesterday, even as the site said it was challenging the reasons for the ban. The UAE's Gulf News leads its paper today reporting that a US-based law firm said it expects to represent families of more than half of the passengers on board the missing Malaysian airline flight in a lawsuit against the carriers and Boeing company, alleging the plane had crashed due to mechanical failure. The paper also reports that Egypt's military leadership has presented Field Marshal Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's resignation from his post of defense minister at a meeting with the interim head of state. From Saudi Arabia, the Arab News leads its front page reporting that Arab leaders have agreed to invite the Syrian National Coalition to take part in next year's Arab League summit in Egypt and regular ministerial meetings, but stopped short of saying it would give Syria a seat on the body of the opposition grouping. The paper also reports that a long-time friend of the pilot of flight MH370 says that Zahari Shah was distraught over his wife's decision to move out of their family home and could have taken the plane for a last joyride before it crashed into the ocean, killing all 239 people aboard. Egypt Independently is reporting that the US Secretary of State John Kerry has urged Egypt to overturn a court decision sentencing 529 supporters of ousted President Mohamed Morsi to death, warning it sent a negative message around the world. It also reports that Ukraine's acting president has asked for parliamentary approval for a set of military exercises with NATO partners that would put US troops in direct proximity with Russia's forces in the annexed Crimea Peninsula. From Beirut, the Daily Star leads reporting that Lebanon's cabinet has held its first meeting since winning a vote of confidence in parliament, with ministers set to discuss a 72-item agenda, including a plan to resolve the increasing Syria-linked violence in the northern city of Tripoli. The paper also reports that the International Monetary Fund announced a $14 to $18 billion bailout for Ukraine, aimed at keeping the crisis-hit country from going insolvent amid its escalating standoff with Russia. Now let's take a look at the top MidEast news from UK papers. The Guardian leads Middle East section reporting that Egypt's Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Sisi resigned from the military on Wednesday night, paving the way for a long-awaited presidential campaign and a return to strongman leadership for Egypt. The paper says that Sisi is widely expected to win any presidential election by a landslide, as many see him as the only candidate with the authority to control a country racked by 3 years of post-revolutionary turmoil. The Independent leads Middle East section reporting that US Secretary of State John Kerry traveled to Jordan to meet with the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas in a last-ditch effort to rescue the unraveling Middle East peace process. The troubled peace negotiations launched last summer are threatening to come apart because of a dispute over the release by Israel of the fourth and final installment of Palestinian prisoners it committed itself to before the talks started. And now let's take a look at the top MidEast stories in international papers. China's Global Times leads Middle East section reporting that 3 people were killed in clashes between the Sunni neighborhood of Bab al-Tabaini and Alawite Jabal Mohsen in Tripoli, north of Lebanon. The Lebanese army deployed in the area swiftly separated the rival groups and closed the main highway linking Tripoli to the northern regions. And finally, the Times of India leads Middle East section reporting that US Secretary of State John Kerry met Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas yesterday, seeking to rescue his faltering Middle East peace bid amid fears Israel may scrap plans to free Palestinian prisoners. However, neither sides made any immediate comment after the meeting. And for more updates, please visit levant.tv. Be sure to join us tomorrow with my colleague Carmen. Thank you very much.